and welcome to another Secret Twin episode of We Only Look Thin. I am Katherine Weigel. I am one of your hosts. I'm a Tiny Habits certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach. I've lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over 7 years. And with me today is my practical, I don't know why I said that, co-host.
Donald Weigel. Secret Twins and practical,
I don't know. I was going to say like practical magic. I don't know. I just saw Nicole Kidman doing something, and she was in practical magic. I don't know, dude. I don't know where my brain goes. It's very interesting. Who are you? What
Hi,
do you do?
I'm one of the hosts of the show. My name is Donald Weigel. I've lost about 100 pounds, kept it off for about 7 years, and I am practically bursting at the seams to talk about it.
I am too. And in Practical Magic, I actually read the book and then saw the movie.
I have done neither, actually.
Okay, so there's like. There's these sisters, and I think one of them kills their boyfriend and hides them in the backyard or something.
Oh, but aren't they witches or something?
They're witches. I can't remember what else happens. It's been a minute, but isn't that exciting to be like, what if I told you, like, okay, there's a buried body in the backyard. I have something to tell you, Donald.
Oh, yeah, that would be exciting.
But you would be like, what?
Yeah, I know, especially since we don't have a backyard.
Yeah. But like, okay, but
the most shocking part of that would be
we have a backyard.
to find out we have a backyard.
The body part you're not excited about, but the yard you're like, what?
Yeah,
Does that mean I have to mow?
Yeah,
that's what you would take away from it, not the body part.
Yeah, we don't have a mower. We're not prepared to deal with a backyard.
Okay,
but sorry, there's a body in the backyard.
But what if I was like, there's a body in the backyard, and then I'm like, yeah, and it's a Barbie doll. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's not really exciting.
No,
that wouldn't make a good movie.
I would feel like there was a little bit of a bait and switch there.
Yeah, but I think you are in the business of show business.
That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, sure, you could say that.
But they're always. I feel like there is a tendency to just want some big reveal. I think more maybe in television shows than in movies of like a secret, like a twist or a secret twin or like a coma. There was always like a big kind of like dun dun dun.
Yeah, I don't know, definitely on soap operas for sure. But yeah, there's always like, it feels like there's a secret twin, like. That show, Dr. Odyssey, with Joshua Jackson, he ended up having a twin brother.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He did?
Yeah. Yeah, on one of the
Did he have a
later
mustache?
episodes. Anyway, I didn't watch the show, but I work for the company that makes that show. Okay. And I happened to notice that in one episode, it turns out he has a twin brother.
But they also, wasn't the cruise ship under attack by sharks or something also?
Yeah, there's 2 episodes. There's part 1 is called Shark !
Oh, okay.
And then part 2 was called Shark ! Hyphen Orca !
Whoa. Yeah. Those aren't natural
No, it was
friends.
Shark Part 2 Orca. That was what it was.
Oh, I wonder if Jaws from the movie Jaws, was his name Jaws?
Yeah, the shark's name was Jaws.
Does Jaws have a secret twin?
That's what was on his birth certificate. Yeah. Well, isn't that what happened in Jaws 2? His secret twin came back, and because it was personal this time.
Oh, this time it's personal. Yeah, no, grudges are a big motivation for me, so I can imagine.
I was definitely under the impression that the shark in Jaws 2 was somehow related to the shark in Jaws 1 because they were like out for revenge.
Yeah,
with Chief Brody.
Oh yeah, you know stuff.
Yeah,
but I think we like drama, whether it is. On a telenovela, people are getting slapped in the face. They've got twins, deaths that people come back to life. They think that they're gone, whatever. I think we like drama in life. No one wants to just hear nice things happening to nice people.
Yeah, that's true.
You want the drama. And I think my brother came to visit last week, and
Speaking of drama,
it was actually a very pleasant
it was great.
trip. It was very nice. I have no bad things to say about it. But we went to a local restaurant that is frequented by celebs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call celebrities to save time in Los Angeles.
Yeah, celebs is short for, just like collab is short for collaboration.
Oh my gosh. If we get so many emails of people who are like, hey, Don and Catherine, we want to collab with you. I was like, no, you don't. If you saw the age on my birth certificate, you would not want to collab with me.
Yeah, people our age don't collab. We collaborate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
and
stop.
Listen.
Collaborate and listen. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, a little Vanilla Ice.
So the Kardashians are frequenters of this restaurant that we go to. That's just right down the street. It's just our neighborhood thing. But something that I heard about celebs on TMZ is that
You listen to TMZ? Wow. Or watch?
You watch it, Donald. You don't even know what a TMZ is. Yeah. So a lot of times celebrities or their publicists will actually tell the paparazzi, the paps, paparazzi.
Is that what they're called?
I think so. In the UK, they're called paps. But they will tell the paparazzi where they're going to be to then create a sensation around where they are. So they will be like, oh, well, I'm not saying anything, but they're going to be near this restaurant or whatever at this day. So it creates a buzz around where they're going. And then they're like, oh, no, don't take a picture of me. But really, they want their picture taken, right? So that creates drama around, like, just we're going to go and have chips and salsa at a restaurant. And suddenly it's like, you won't believe where blah was seen at the da-da-blah.
Yeah.
But this is actually one of my sort of rules or my standards for myself in the year of our Lord 2025.
Yeah.
Is that I will not click on clickbait. Because I used to do it like, oh, you won't believe 5 tricks for this, or, this person did that, and you won't even you'll be so mad when you find out. And I know. Click on it.
The ones that always still almost get me are shocking update on your favorite show, or, actor you really like gives a reaction to plot twist on show you really like.
Right. And it ends up being a total letdown. I think it's the bait and switch of this, or actually for Disneyland and Disney World, they'll be like, this beloved ride is shutting down, and why should you even go? And then it's for refurbishment, and they're going to upgrade it for 2 weeks.
It'll be closed for 2 weeks. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, come on now, that's not really big news. But you click on it, the site gets clicks, and then they get more money because you've clicked on their things. But then it's sort of like the rug being pulled out from under you. You feel kind of silly for falling for it over and over again. And I think I just sort of decided that I wasn't going to do it this year because I had been tricked too many times. And I think
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 8,000 times, shame on me.
But I think that there are actually, being in the business of pod, which is pod biz. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. It's not good. But there are actually, tutorials on ways to get clicks of make a big salacious headline, make big promises just so that people will follow through and click on your ad or whatever. And I just feel like people don't want to hear that weight loss is kind of about boring, consistent habits.
Right.
It's not a montage. It's not this big dramatic thing. And I think we want to feel like we're part of something really big and really important, and no one else knows about it, and you're getting the inside scoop. And I think when we talk about our weight loss habits, and I think this is true for us in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
We would use our own kind of clickbait drama to actually stop our weight loss. We would just make everything a giant headline, a giant surprise, and use that, for example, of oh, I forgot my gym shoes. Now I'm not going to work out for a year.
Right.
Because obviously, why even bother if life is going to go against me? Or I got a cold and now my weight loss is ruined forever.
Yeah. And we would see those weight loss headlines, and we would click on them, and we would fall for that story, headline and sinker. And headline and sinker? Wait a minute.
Hook, line, and sinker. But I think headline and sinker,
wow,
I think that works too.
Completely came out by accident. I should just pretend like I meant to say it. And we would buy into it and then, believe this dramatic, reaching headline and decide, well, I guess I just can't do it anymore.
Right. And I think with other people, when they describe things that happened in their lives, they start out with these big dramatic moments, right? Because you want, like, I had a coworker who at one point said, she was like, I was held hostage at a car dealership. Like, that was all she said.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? She goes, yeah, like, it was the end of the day and they really wanted me to buy a car. And so I was in a room with them and they were like, come on, buy this car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you, like, you can't tell me you were held hostage and then you were just at a car dealership. Like, that is a total bait and switch. But the way she made it sound was like she had no choice. She was trapped. She was captured. And I think we use headlines like that for ourselves. Like, I actually went to the internet and looked at a thesaurus, which is definitely not a kind of of dinosaur. But no. Like, we use like, oh, my weight loss is a disaster. Like, oh, we had a lunch meeting and it was a calamity and this cataclysmic interruption in my weight loss goals. And like, oh, you'll be shocked at the thing, right? We use these big dramatic words to explain away why we didn't stick to our health goals, right?
Yeah. We want to make normal life activities feel like catastrophes. And I think on some level, it absolves us of having to do the work, like, to get it done.
Well, you bring up a super good point about becoming a victim of circumstance instead of kind of the lead character making your own choices. And in the end, I think the worst part about it is that it reduces our credibility, right? When we make a giant headline and then it ends up just being something kind of banal, like, oh, you got a cold and so you couldn't exercise for 2 days.
Right.
Like, and that's why I never went to the gym again. And that's why I know that I'll never be meant for weight loss. I used to tie all these tiny little disruptions into this giant plot against my weight loss. Everybody else has it easier than me. Everybody else just has normal lives where they can, prioritize their health. But all of these things are working against me and my health goals. And I use that as proof that I was just not the kind of person who could lose weight ever. And I told that story to myself for 40 years.
Oh my goodness, yes. Over and over again. Any little setback meant that I was broken and that I just couldn't do it. And why should I bother even trying?
Right. And I didn't want to hear that there was a solution, because if I just knew there wasn't a solution, then I didn't have to do anything about it. And so on this episode's, dear listeners, we are going to ruin your day by we're going to ruin today by letting you know that you can actually advocate for yourself in your health journey. So just like clickbait is designed to get an emotional reaction, we do the same thing with ourselves when we use dramatic self-talk, when we catastrophize everything, where we are surprised that it's Taco Tuesday again, or that there is a work lunch. We can be the champion of our choices instead of the victim. And part of the switch is removing emotional language from your weight loss journey venture. Because when we use emotions, it hijacks logic, right? Like, there are things that we can put in place that will make our weight loss easier. And instead of throwing in the towel, honestly, changing the language around our circumstance really does matter. So in this episode, we are going to help you with 4 different ways that you can de-escalate, just like some sort of hostage crisis at a Hyundai dealership, into some consistent habits. So Donald, why don't you launch us off with the very first amazing, shocking way that we can de-escalate the drama around our health journey ventures.
This first step will change your life forever. No, but anyway, here we go. So the first thing to do is, when you see clickbait, metaphorical clickbait in your head, rename the headline. Let's say you have the clickbait thought of, everything is ruined because I've got a cold.
Oh no.
So first thing to do is reframe. Okay, how long can a cold possibly last? I might be out of commission for a couple of days. I can still do some things. My priority is to take care of myself, rest up, and get better. But I don't have to, because I'm sick, I don't have to like eat all of the sweet treats that are in the house. I don't have to do anything except order a whole cake from a local bakery.
Yeah.
Like, there is a middle ground where I can take care of myself and eat smart as I am recovering. And I am recovering. I have a bounce back plan. I always sort of prepare. This is one of the things we talk about. Be prepared for getting sick. And when you're starting to feel better, you gradually move back into the plan that you had before. And don't just decide, well, because I've been sick for a few days, I'm going to now not do anything for weeks and weeks or months and months. I can, when I start feeling better, I can start getting in a 5-minute walk. I can gradually increase my exercise back to where it was until I do feel 100% better. And I don't have to eat, complete garbage, like while I'm sick. I get, also it might help me recover faster if I don't do that. So always have kind of a plan in mind, and always remember that, those sorts of illnesses are temporary and they aren't going to last forever. But the way that you overeat during that time is going to be much harder to recover from down the road.
Exactly. And I think that idea, I used to think of it as, I've broken my streak or everything's ruined or whatever. And just saying like, this is a natural pause in life because people get sick. We go on vacation. We have job things that get in the way. It doesn't mean that we're broken. It just means that we're pausing something. And when we reframe that and use less dramatic language, we're recognizing that life happens. And it always happens. It shouldn't be a shock that things get in the way. So good job, Donald Weigel.
Thanks. All right. So what is the next shocking suggestion that you're going to give our audience?
It's super boring. Create a neutral narrative. Just get rid of your giant, salacious, thesaurus-loving drama language that you use. So again, when we say things like, your clickbait thought is, my weight loss is broken, my metabolism is shot, this is a disaster. The scale hasn't moved in 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are people too, I know early in weight loss, of I've lost weight this week. I lost weight this week. I lost weight. And then the week that you don't lose weight and I did everything right. My body is rebelling against me.
Yeah.
Right. When we use that, it's this is naturally the part of weight loss. Sometimes the scale moves. Sometimes it doesn't move. And I've done it so many times that I know that this is just a blip. It is not the end of my story.
I literally had dozens of weeks where I didn't lose anything, but then I did again. And it's, the idea that you will consistently lose a certain number of pounds every single week just isn't going to really happen. And again, this is why clickbait is so effective. It's lose 5 pounds a week every single week. That's much more exciting than, some weeks you're probably not going to lose any weight, and other weeks you'll lose a pound, and then another week you might lose 2 or 3 pounds. That's far less exciting.
Well, and I think we like that magical thinking of that, everything is going to go our way. This is the thing that's going to fix me, whatever. And we do not think we are fixed. This is, fix your metabolism and blah. Life gets in the way. Sometimes things go my way. Sometimes they don't. And that's all right. So instead of that sort of the scale hasn't moved in 3 days, it's weight loss takes time and consistency. And it's not single data points that matter. It's the trend over time. And that is not a clickbaitable, exciting, thrilling, montage. So instead of using, inflammatory language, think of yourself like a scientist. This is an experiment. Okay, what is this showing me? Oh, this is showing me that sometimes I lose weight and sometimes the scale stays the same or I gain. And it's just fluctuations in hormones and salt content. And it's not really that exciting. So use non-emotional data like calorie averages, steps, water goals, to refocus your lens, because really it's the habits over time that matter, not just the end goal that we're looking for. So remove dramatic vocabulary from your experience, and it really like reduces the stress around it. You're not making this crazy headline.
Yeah. And also, you know, getting rid of that negative self-talk and turning it into something neutral. Because when you tell yourself that you're broken over and over again, or tell yourself that you can't do it over and over again, it's like you internalize that and you really want to believe it. And you kind of on some level want to prove yourself right. And
like I said, because then you don't have to take responsibility for it. Like, I'm broken. Exactly. Oh, it's just my metabolism.
Exactly. Okay, so the next way to take control of your clickbait is to pre-write the plot twist.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not rewrite it, but pre-write it, because you're the author of your own story. So you might have the clickbait thought of, travel always ruins me. I gain everything back when I travel.
I used to say travel equals 5 pounds. Like, I'm going to go visit my grandmother for a week. I'm going to gain 5 pounds. And guess what? I was right, because I made it so with terrible food choices.
And so instead of, you know, instead of doing that, pre-write the plot twist. Plot twist here is, I'm choosing how I travel. I don't have to give up all of my healthy habits. I don't have to take a vacation from my habits. Yeah. I can take a vacation with my habits. And that doesn't mean, you know, you 100% are just eating carrot sticks while you're on vacation, but, you know, plan some strategies to get through. Plan that you will always be going on some sort of walk. Plan that you're going to use the gym at the hotel or the resort or whatever. You know, do a daily walk. Eat protein with every meal. Like, Catherine does a thing where she like makes sure that she always has a salad, at least at one meal a day.
And it helps so much. Like, I don't track when we travel, but I'm like, okay, I'm gamifying this. I'm going to find a salad to have during the day. And that's not super exciting, but it actually helps and it works. And it's a policy that I have that takes away the drama.
Yeah, and you know, or maybe it's like, I'm going to have one indulgent meal a day instead of like 4 indulgent meals a day.
Yeah,
especially if you're a hobbit eating that extra meal at Elevensies. But you know, or that you always make sure you have some sort of fresh vegetable with at least one meal a day. Like, you're doing something. You're keeping one foot in the pool that is your health and fitness goals. You're bringing some of your habits with you, and not just, you know, going crazy while you're on vacation every single time. So that allows you to, again, be the author of your own choices and build plot twists that show your growth, not disaster.
Well, it's like, okay, don't go to shark-infested waters. Like, oh no, the waters are infested with sharks.
Yeah.
Well, what is this beach called? Shark-infested beach water.
And maybe Jaws and his twin brother Jaws 2 are both there. I don't know. The family wasn't very creative in naming those sharks, the parents.
Exactly. Okay, and number 4 is stop villainizing the cast of characters around you.
Oh, yeah.
My family is sabotaging me.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh.
My coworkers are out to get me.
Yeah, like all of like, oh, the weather is out to get, like, oh, see, this happens every single time.
Yeah.
When we make ourselves the victim of our family, of the weather, of like everything in the whole world is out to get me. I did that for decades. Must be nice to be my coworker who goes for a 5-mile run in the morning. Must be nice to not have a giant appetite in the afternoon. I know one of your dear friends is like never hungry when you guys go to Comic-Con. He's like, just this morning I had a protein bar and I don't need to eat until dinner.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
But just being like, well, I can't because he's doing the thing, and like, oh, they're not hungry, and if they're not hungry, then I can't eat. That used to lead me to secret eat of like, well, if I don't go in step with what everyone else is doing, then I go to secret eating. Stop making your choices about everybody you're with or the weather or the city you're in. we have the opportunity to bring main character energy, as the kids say, to every single circumstance. Like, at this age, can I really blame like my eating on our teenager? No, I had eating disorders way before marriage, before I had a job, before I had a kid.
Yeah.
Like, it is my responsibility to take care of myself. So instead of that clickbait thought of like, my family is sabotaging me, just reframe it as, my family are doing what they do. And this is what they do every single time we're together. I get to make different choices because I'm a grown up. Like, oh, I am responsible for myself.
Yeah, for sure. Other people are going to do what they do, and it's not they're not, picking on you. It's not about them being villainous towards you. They're just doing what they do. They're probably not even thinking about you when they're making these choices, and you have to do the same thing. You have to set your own boundaries and make your own choices and write your own story.
Well, and even if someone is judgy, I can't believe you're going to eat that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Uncle Jim is always judgmental of the food that I eat. Guess what? I get to set a boundary and tell him to mind his own dang-a-doodle-doddle-doodle business.
Whoa, language.
I know. But really, like, I was in my 40s before I realized that I could just tell people, like, you don't know what you're talking about. I am going to eat this. Do not judge my food. And there's so much power in just taking away that, like, oh, they're out to get me or whatever. No, like, I get to choose what I do and when I do it. I know that when I go to this person's house, they're not really big on snacks, and so I bring my own food. I know that they eat 2 meals a day, and I prefer 3 meals a day plus a snack, so I get to decide when I eat. When we start advocating for ourselves and knowing what we need to feel satisfied, we get to be the champion and like the star of the show instead of sort of a background actor. So we've done episodes like pre-mortem, post-mortem. Pay attention to your circumstances. How did you react in the past? How did that serve you? What could you do differently this time? Like, at this age and, for what is it, 390 episodes, at this point, none of this is a surprise. Other people's reactions aren't a surprise. Changes in weather. It's raining. Now I'm never going to get
right.
Oh, guess what?
Right.
There are things that you can do inside. It's too hot outside. Oh, and so I'm a grown up and I go to places that are air conditioned. Like, it doesn't have to be this, catastrophic, life-changing, mishap that again throws you off your goals until next year when suddenly nothing will be in my way. Everything's going to, as soon as this is over.
I'll just wait till everything calms down. Guess what? Nothing, it doesn't ever calm down. Like, it just keeps going.
Ever. Like, when in your life has there ever just been like, man, this entire year has just gone exactly as I had planned. Like, nothing got in my way. The weather was great. There was no family drama. Like, everything's totally fine. That is an anomaly. That is the like wild and crazy story. Like, oh my gosh, nothing is happening right now. That is, the exception.
That would be a clickbait worth clicking on. Right
exactly.
There.
So don't cast yourself like you're in a telenovela soap opera. You're not the victim. You are the lead. There aren't like secret twins or coma. Oh, if only I could go in a coma, then I could lose the weight. Like,
oh my God. I used to think things like that.
Gosh.
Oh, if I could just like go to sleep for a few months and then wake up having lost all the weight. Like,
I know. It must be
great.
Nice to live in the time frame where there's cryogenic chambers where I can just sleep all the time.
Exactly. Why am I not in some sci-fi novel?
Exactly. So drama makes our normal lives seem chaotic. And the more we act like things are chaotic and out of our control, the more we become a victim of our circumstances. And the more we can take that dramatic language out of our habits, the more consistent we can be, the more proactive we can be with our choices. So just like clickbait loses credibility, the news source is no longer trusted because you know that it's always just this dramatic headline and then a really boring story. Remove that clickbait from your vocabulary. So clickbait emotions lead to clickbait behavior. We dramatize so much of our lives. and it lowers our credibility.
Yeah.
I look back at the decades that I spent blaming everything in the world except my own agency to make changes. And looking back at it now, it is really simple. Not that it's easy, but it is really simple when you just remove that dramatic language. What happens if I don't give up? What happens if there's a disruption? I just keep going and moving forward. And weight loss does not need to be dramatic to be impactful. Consistent behaviors over time are really boring, and nobody wants to hear that because you want drama. But it is a fact that you just need consistent behaviors over time and let go of all of the emotions tied to single events that just blow up everything in your course. It's not like there's an oxygen tank that you put in Jaws' mouth and explodes the shark, and then the twin shark is out to get you. And don't get in the freaking water. If there's a big shark, just don't get in the water. That's what I have to say. Don't do it. So don't be a victim of circumstance. We are all old enough to recognize that pretty much all the dramatic things that have happened, they're going to happen again. So look ahead and plan accordingly instead of being a victim. We can pause our habits when there are disruptions, but we don't have to have it as this dramatic plot twist where we gain all of our weight back. Calm habits build trust over time. So leave the drama for the Kardashians. Don't invite the paparazzi to disrupt your perfect, evening, your perfect plan. Recognize that we have agency to create normal, consistent habits. And honestly, you don't need perfect days or perfect plans. You just need fewer dramatic ones. And I know that if we can make our habits and our weight loss less dramatic, we know that you can too.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for listening to this episode. We have 389 other episodes that are also about being consistent over time.
389 ways you can lose weight.
That's right.
That's a lot.
Trust me, it's much more exciting and entertaining than you might think.
Yeah.
So you can check out the most recent 300 of those on all of the major podcast platforms, anywhere that you found this episode, or you can go back and listen from the first episode on YouTube or anytime on our website at weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at weonlylookthin.com, click on that link. Click on that link for join our support group.
That's right.
You'll be blown away by it's a group of really lovely women supporting one another, staying accountable. We're doing a June Venture challenge right now as we are recording this. It's a way to stay consistent, to stay present with other people who are also on their weight loss journey ventures. We do weekly Zoom meetings. We do habit challenges. And it's just a safe, supportive spot on the internet to just be supported. You're not being held hostage in a group. It's just a place for support and accountability. So we have 2 subscription options, a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if WellPlace is right for you.
Absolutely. So please check it out. And you can also check us out on social media. We are at We Only Look Thin on Instagram and Facebook. Or if you would like to send us an email, you can also do that. If you have episode suggestions, we've turned quite a few listener emails into episodes of the show. If you have questions, or if you have some ways in which you've turned clickbait, turned the drama in your life around and want to let us know, we would really love to hear about that. Maybe we'll talk about it in a coming episode. You can do all of those things to weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Yep, and if you have a couple of extra minutes, please head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a dramatic weight loss review. Give us those 5 stars. Tell everybody we're the most incredible podcast you've ever listened to.
Yeah, in all caps. Write it in all caps.
All caps. You won't believe. But yeah, do that, please. Save the clickbait for actually doing good in the world.
That's right.
Instead of causing drama. We really appreciate it. Not only does it let us know that what we're doing after 390 episodes is still making a difference in your life, but it also helps the algorithms in the internet boost our ratings and helps other people find us. So do that. Something about electricity. I don't know.
Yeah,
make it happen.
Catherine is a computer programmer, so she knows exactly what she's talking about in these cases.
Yeah, I often thank Donald for electricity. That's what I just imagine all his hard work on editing the podcast is.
Yeah, thank you for having electricity, she says. Not actually kidding. And if you, another way you could really help us out is if you are on the internet, if you're in a Facebook group, a Discord server, a subreddit, and it would make sense to give us a shout out, we would really appreciate it. Or if you're in a conversation with somebody, and it would make sense to bring it up if you know somebody who might get something out of the show, word of mouth really does help the show grow, and we would really appreciate it.
Yep.
So the next time you're thinking about clicking a headline about the secret that local doctors don't want you to know, instead remember that Catherine and I are an inspiration.
What if this episode was actually recorded by our secret twins?
How would anyone know? The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.